Just two sharp words and Donald Trump has set off the most shocking royal spectacle Britain has seen in decades. At this very moment, as you're watching this, Trump is seated beside King Charles inside Windsor Castle, sharing a glittering banquet at a table worth more than the average London home. And outside those royal walls? London's Mayor Sadiq Khan is fuming, completely locked out of the circle of power. But here's the twist almost no one is talking about. Stay with me, because what really unfolded behind those palace gates goes far deeper than a single insult. The drama began the instant Air Force One touched down at Heathrow. You could almost feel the tension crackling in the chilly British air. Reporters swarmed the runway. Cameras fired like machine guns. Security barricades stretched for blocks. This wasn't just another diplomatic meet-and-greet, it was political theater on the grandest stage. And when the first shouted question pierced the noise, "Mr. President, any thoughts on the London mayor?" Trump didn't hesitate. His reply was ice-cold and deliberate. Sadiq Khan is a nasty person who's done a terrible job running London. The phrase detonated like a thunderclap. Within minutes, hashtags like #NastyKhan were exploding across Twitter, TikTok, and global news feeds. Anchors scrambled to fill airtime, but while the world obsessed over the insult, they were missing the real story quietly playing out inside Windsor Castle. Right on cue, Khan began his media blitz. Within hours he appeared on BBC, Sky News, CNN International, you name it. His message never wavered. Donald Trump is divisive. Dangerous. A symbol of everything wrong with modern politics. From the podium at City Hall he declared, with a mix of wounded pride and righteous authority, "London remains open. We welcome Americans who reject the politics of division. Our city thrives on diversity and the rule of law." It sounded principled. It sounded noble. But the hard reality on London's streets paints a far different picture. Fresh crime data shows knife attacks at a 5-year high, 17 teenagers killed in just 6 months. Transit strikes continue to paralyze the underground, forcing millions to scramble for alternate routes. Housing costs have skyrocketed so badly that even middle-class families are being driven from neighborhoods they've called home for generations. Walk through Borough Market on a Saturday and talk to shopkeepers. 3 break-ins in a single month. Police response times stretching past an hour. And while these crises grow worse, Khan's team is busy refreshing Twitter feeds for the next Trump comment. So when the American president called the mayor nasty, something unexpected happened. Many Londoners quietly agreed. Not because they adore Trump, but because they recognize a painful truth in his blunt words. While Khan sparred on social media, Trump was enjoying a royal welcome few world leaders ever receive. Picture this: Windsor Castle glowing at sunset, the oldest continuously occupied fortress on Earth. Horse-drawn carriages clatter over ancient stones that once carried kings, queens, and wartime heroes. Into this pageant steps Donald Trump, not as a controversial firebrand, but as the honored guest of His Majesty King Charles III. The contrast could not be harsher. As Khan defends his record on television, Trump dines beneath golden chandeliers with the King of England. While the mayor's approval ratings sink to record lows, Trump's motorcade glides through the castle gates escorted by the household cavalry in full ceremonial regalia. And behind the pageantry lies a deeper message about how power really operates in 2024. Constitutional tradition prevents King Charles from criticizing elected officials. But body language speaks volumes. Watch the banquet footage closely. Charles is relaxed, smiling, genuinely engaged with Trump. Compare that to the stiff, scripted encounters we usually see with domestic politicians. Palace insiders, speaking off the record, say the king was struck by Trump's directness. No polished double talk. No carefully rehearsed platitudes. Just plain, straightforward conversation about trade, security, and the Atlantic Alliance. One thing the king values is candor, one senior courtier confided. After years of politicians who say one thing publicly and another privately, Trump's consistency was almost refreshing. Back at City Hall, panic set in. Internal polling revealed Khan's approval among Londoners plunging to just 31%, his lowest ever. Even Labour MPs began quietly stepping back, worried that public association with Khan might cost them their own seats. And the royal banquet underscored the humiliation. Trump and King Charles discussed trade agreements worth hundreds of billions, defense partnerships, cultural exchanges, policy decisions that shape millions of lives. Khan? He wasn't merely absent. He wasn't even on the invitation list. That omission wasn't just a social snub. It was a signal of who Britain considers a serious player on the world stage. American corporations got the message fast. Tech executives who once planned major London expansions began calling U.S. trade envoys directly, bypassing City Hall entirely. Goldman Sachs shifted a $2 billion infrastructure project from local consultation to direct talks with the national government. J.P. Morgan's European headquarters plans? Now discussed at embassy level, not municipal level. Meanwhile, Khan clings to moral victories, posting photos of multicultural festivals and tweeting about London's openness. But tolerance doesn't repair broken subways. Diversity doesn't cut knife crime. #activism doesn't lower housing costs. And London voters are noticing the widening gap between feel-good speeches and lived reality. Privately, senior conservative MPs admit the embarrassment. Trump commands respect on the world stage, one cabinet minister whispered. Our own capital's mayor struggles to command respect in his own city. While world leaders treat Trump like visiting royalty, London's leader is being written off as a sideshow. The royal family, for their part, understands the political winds. Protocol demands full ceremony for America's head of state, but the warmth they displayed toward Trump went beyond mere etiquette. They know power when they see it. Trump represents influence. Khan represents, what exactly? A city battling rising crime and collapsing infrastructure while its mayor focuses on international virtue signaling. As Trump's motorcade swept through central London, protesters filled the streets. Yes, there were anti-Trump chants. But listen carefully and you'd hear something louder. Khan out. Fix our city. Stop the crime. The frustration wasn't really aimed at America. It was aimed squarely at Britain's own political failures. Khan has become the living emblem of modern progressive politics, plenty of slogans, precious few results. Youth unemployment in the poorest boroughs is up 23% on his watch. Businesses leaving central London? Up 34%. Tourist complaints about safety and cleanliness? Up 45%. But Khan's Twitter engagement? That's soaring, apparently the only metric that matters in City Hall these days. While Khan chases retweets, Trump plays a patient strategic hand. Every photo opportunity reinforces the same narrative. Serious leaders work with serious people. The president doesn't waste energy bickering with a mayor who can't manage his own city. Watch Trump at the royal events, relaxed, confident, clearly enjoying himself. This is not a man troubled by Sadiq Khan's opinion. This is a global power broker negotiating with his peers. Markets are already responding. British pension funds are increasing American investments. London hedge funds are opening New York offices. Even traditionally Europe-focused firms are pivoting toward transatlantic deals. Why? Because capital flows toward power, and right now that current runs through Washington and Windsor, not through City Hall. Khan's attempts to present himself as Trump's equal grow more desperate each week. Press releases comparing London to New York. Tweets spotlighting American companies with offices in the capital. International speaking tours painting himself as a global progressive leader. But the public isn't buying it anymore. You can't claim to represent a world-class city when you can't guarantee basic safety. You can't lecture about values while your own residents flee to cheaper, safer towns. King Charles embodies tradition, stability, and quiet authority, the very things Khan's brand of politics claims to have outgrown. Yet there he is, warmly hosting Donald Trump, while the mayor remains conspicuously absent from every major diplomatic moment. It's a powerful reminder of a truth many had written off. The monarchy, supposedly outdated, is commanding more respect than elected officials. Time-tested institutions are outperforming fashionable progressive experiments. Competence and continuity still trump noise and activism as Air Force One lifts off, the political landscape of Britain feels unmistakably altered. Khan appears smaller, more irrelevant than ever. Parliament seems out of touch with both global realities and domestic frustrations. And the monarchy? They look like the only British institution that still understands how power truly operates in the modern world. So the real question isn't whether Donald Trump was justified in calling Sadiq Khan nasty. The real question is why it took an American president to say what millions of Britons were already thinking. And why Britain's own political class still refuses to admit what everyone else can plainly see. This isn't just about a single mayor or a single insult. It's about the total failure of progressive politics to deliver real results. It's about the widening chasm between soaring rhetoric and everyday reality. And it's about power shifting away from politicians who think Twitter battles matter more than actual governance. What do you think? Was Trump right? And what does this reveal about the future of British politics? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth political commentary, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of power and politics. Thanks for watching.